Good morning, everybody. It's me, Shad, Polynerdic. There's a train outside making a lot of noise. We're going to play some Disco Elysium for a couple hours this morning before work. Yeah, right at 2 hours-ish. Picking up where we left off last week when I did my big run of trying to figure out what I was going to play next. We're circling back to this. I just decided I'm going to play everything. Because I am indecisive. So, before we get into it, please share what we do here at Polynerdic. I can't live stream on Twitch due to internet issues. So I've been, for the last 9 months, 10 months, loading stuff up on YouTube, but it doesn't get the viewership. I have like twice as many subscribers on Twitch as I do here on YouTube. So share what we do. If you want, if you can, please go over to Twitch and hit me with a subscription there. A follow and a subscription. Because I have not been able to generate even the smallest amount of revenue here on YouTube, and I miss the bi-monthly $100 bump I was getting there at the beginning of last year before the internet went to shit. That preamble said, let's get into the game. This is where we left off, talking to this fella.
There are clothes inside. Cheap second-hand clothes, smelling of strangers' body odors.
Gross.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style, officer.
You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first-hand. Buy second-hand. Keep the economy moving.
No good. All you can come up with are some treated wool pants. You can tell they're too tight around your thighs and too loose around.
No luck? Why not take another look, officer? Keep supporting the economy.
I roll really terribly in this game, it seems. Let's see.
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler. It's the jam, my man. It's a traffic jam for the ages. Arbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. It feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew.
I was born here.
Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout. Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already.
Behind the laugh, however, a touch of sorrow.
So tell me, what do you need? He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here. Keep him busy. Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs. A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees. Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that.
Time to arrest him.
Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice, clean business. This haul of cargo is mostly sporting goods. You know, tracksuits and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grodd and the Occident, though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately. We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically.
Don't be a stranger.
Ugh. A bold slogan. Vehicle design in this game's interesting.
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands, and it's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes, and food money. Maybe she's your... No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone.
Okay. Yeah. $1.59.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods. A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip II, the opulent, father of Philip IV, the insane." Not a good track record of mental health in that family.
Welcome to Revachol.
Just the immediate racist lorry driver name.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you. It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome to Revachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself and
Little
behave.
heavy stuff first thing in the morning, I know.
But you see, I'm an officer of the RCN. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I would advise you to remember that.
silence. The air between them becomes tense. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
You two make a cute couple. You know that?
The lieutenant exhales, and you sense slight embarrassment for the outburst. Or is it pride? Impossible to tell.
Whatever you say, officers. Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation. Apples? Yeah, apples?
He's given you the runaround. Let's be honest. You... The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents. You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big Fritta slogan on the back.
Welcome to Frit. Feel free to look around or something. Everything is out on the shelves.
What's that magazine she's reading?
You mean this? This is Pop Stars. It's got, like, famous people in it. It's not for sale. Yeah, me neither. Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but... Reality? You mean, what reality? I don't really know anything. I mean, I'm 15. I don't know. What about it? We're in Frit? As mankind, or as a nation, in a good place. I mean, science is doing great, and this radio computer thing seems to be kinda big. I don't know. Cool.
I won't bother you with nonsense anymore.
Bastards! We have a right to work! Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes. Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such an old machine. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings. The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength, and purity are glued.
Sounds racist.
Back end of the cabin is a small perch to sleep. Large ashtrays. There are several suns and wheels sewn into the curtains.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia.
Haha, called it.
Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy. Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
He was acting tough before. This probably scared him a bit. Who knows when it will come in handy? A slightly scared, racist lorryman.
Gotta pay the rent, man.
Scott?
What did he just call you? A... Oh no, not this again. You just got away from that fucking kid.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money. Speaking of, what brings the RCM here, to the Wild North? Come to see the strife? You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask him first.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the union boss and are on a better footing with the organization.
Go ahead and save our game real quick before we get into this with the strike dude.
Nobody betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Don't say anything. Size him up first.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger. Because you are not a threat to me. That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to Al Ghul. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick. Yes, Al Ghul. Al Ghul is an ancient Ilmaran poison, a parasitic fungus that has colonized your race. It is a trick the desert pygmies played on you, for humiliating them and stripping them of their land. Your life and the life of your race revolve around Al Ghul. It has everything to do with why you're here.
It's not good.
It's like a rat crawled into your stomach, got drunk and drowned.
Gross.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich race is waning.
Show him the ham still got it.
Jerking motions. Signs of a late-stage neurodegenerative disorder. How far the Occidental Haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory and statecraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Khoikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture.
The ham sandwich race kills me.
You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
It is my task to keep the degenerate drunks from entering the harbor.
That was a punch.
That is right. You should leave the stage of history with dignity by inviting the other races to a great world war. Bring your troops to the Seminine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum for you. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality you call art, and your microcephalic skulls.
This is your chance. He's talking. Rip into him with a pun. No, don't rip into anyone. You're sensitive. Remember? Communicate.
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
That's the truest thing he said.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel any doubt. Correct. Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that.
There must be some friction there. He's keeping it well hidden, however.
Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront polycultural capital. Something your race, naivistic communists, never did. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic. Jam. Individualism. You have gotten these ideas from degenerate youth culture, have you not? You have picked them up from rock and roll songs? Offshoots of the Seminoles people invented disco while having sex under the influence of cocaine. It is a shame upon my race. But what is done is done. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminoles race. What you need is to come to terms with extinction and never getting into this harbor.
I think this racist is better than the last, but the next racist will be the really good one. There always is.
Yeah. Seems inevitable, doesn't it?
Race is reality.
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it.
Does he strike you as the kind of man who puts mugs into trash?
Don't be vulgar.
There must be some.
Mr. Claire is a man of vision and means. He has also to serve is noble. Idiotic communism is the single greatest contributor to your race descent. Above all, rampant multinational finance still reigning large. Tell me, where have you gotten your love of pathetic communism from? Of course it does. You are a degenerate. I am not surprised
Ham-colored
you
race.
enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable. The South Island race, haplogroup A4A. We are the rightful masters of the Insulindian archipelago. We descend from the Areopagites of ancient
Just won't push the button, man.
and we are the future. That is all you need. I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulimbuir are with me in my genetic dreams. I see young Seminese women walk into the grey mass on Ile de Fantôme, waiting on immaculate conception from the pave. No, I have heard about it on the radio.
He would be appreciative if you did not further chase this line of inquiry in front of the women.
I'm from Couronne, and no, it is not just in Revachol. The city is central to the Simony strategy. Spreading through its trade networks, our culture will dominate the world. You have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction to come to terms with, and never getting into the harbor.
Go ahead. Don't be shy. Just ask for race secrets.
Do not be naive. I know the answer to the great race enigma. Why would I
Yes?
Hola, wandering man. How can I help you? My friend, I respect the right to roam. The open range awaits. I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage.
Beneath the jolliness, he suddenly seems doubtful.
I walk right past Measurehead and go in. Yeah, the 2.5-meter tall Semini supremacist up there. Walk right past him, then press the button to unlock the door, then go past him again, and you enter the arbor through the office. Está. Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. For example, you could best Measurehead in a physical confrontation, or you could convert to a Semini supremacist worldview, or maybe it actually is completely impossible. Not yet, no. He's incredibly strong.
Nothing a couple of solid hooks from Dexter and Sinister won't fix.
Jean-Luc himself would say the philosophy has proven overly heroic for the scabs to convert to. Sure. Sorry. busy surveying the situation. I'm sure you'll figure something out. Wiretapping, telescopic batons, futuristic circuit bending to infiltrate harbor machinery. Maybe you could even knock that Kowalson crane over using some remote controls. Or calling in tactical air support. You guys have air support, right?
Because we don't. We don't have air support, or any of those other things.
I get it. Hush hush about the secret.
Something changes in his disposition. A merciful smile in the corner of his eye.
All right, I may have some advice for you on how to deal with Jean-Luc there, out of solidarity to the RCM. It's low in technology, however. First, don't fight him, obviously. Second, get him to share his theory by being subordinate. Admit your lack of expertise. Basically grovel. That's how I do it. You're welcome.
Maybe that would work. Will it?
Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out.
The coin narrowly slips by your outstretched finger.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to throw it like that. It's a thing we harbor folk do. Was not meant as provocation or ridicule.
The boyardero stares at you with respect.
Right, always glad to help out the RCM. We're on the same branch, you and I. Humans, I mean, not slithering scabs.
Alright, so I have to grovel to get past him.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification.
Do you?
The lieutenant looks toward the harbor's electronic door, and then to you. He lets out an audible sigh.
You are obviously a liberal, Sailmate. A polyculturalist. I can see it from your love of microtechnology and your sartorial choices. Do not deny your friend the truth you have denied yourself. There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty. Which one do you need an occasion? Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals, excluding the Maun, of course. The Maun are riddled with eczema to the point where they find it impossible to smile.
Man, this guy's something,
They
isn't
are
he?
all lactose intolerant, a common result of inbreeding. A receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades in Maun cities like Stadskanal and Vredefort, wearing wooden clogs on their feet and little green tassels on their hats. The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans of Meteo by the golden Pisantic Sea, the Suren of Sur-la-Clé, and even the North Königsteiners, all have Type A race propensity.
This guy's something, isn't he?
The other large Mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race. True, they are violent and expansionist, but they have a glandular problem. Overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat toxic minced meat-based food, which in turn only produces more sebum. As proven by the Maun and the Mesk, Occidental Type A is in retrograde. The Simonese and the Areopagite are on the ascent. The Areopagites are sleek, long-headed. The Simonese are powerful, mesomorphic, The former is an immutable progenitor, unchanged since the Super Isola of Pericarnassus. Ancient brains rest in their slender skulls. The latter is perfected and adapting. Together they form the Simeno-Areopagite or Simeopagite superrace. That is all.
Nature was not capable of more.
Type B are the unheroic races, amorphous non-competitors of the great race. The Koikos and the Vacholier, they are mud-colored people. To an untrained eye, the Koiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich. But look into their eyes and you will see. They are of an indistinct muddy color, and so is their skin. Unhealthy, sweaty, and ashen. Pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination that the Grad people have undergone for drinking alcohol and smoking the degenerate tobacco and for eating potato. The Koiko, the countless micronationalities of Grad, are all inexplicably obsessed with potat. The only thing they like more is dividing into microscopic ethnostates, like political amoeba. The Revacholians, halfway between type A and the racial cauldron. Two makes to know right from wrong. You tried your degenerate little revolution, which was the single greatest failure committed by humans in our 82,000-year history on this planet. Chips CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments and tragic maladaptations. They are tortured creatures waiting to be put to sleep. It would be cruel to entertain ourselves with their deformities. You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery. You need to internalize what you have heard here today, then return to me. This clarity does not come instantly. I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss.
I have to internalize this. I didn't want to.
Yes?
That's that lady. That's that. What's this? I guess there's nothing we can do other than run around and wait to internalize that awful nonsense. Man, that's the third train since we've been playing.
All around you, rain falls on the great city of Revachol. Rain drips from the eaves and floods the gutters, washing the filth away. The spring thaw must be here. The snow is melting. Looking up at the sky, cold water dripping from your hair. Grey sky like great battleships, clouds colliding with one another. Rain falls down on the world. Your shirt sticks to your chest. The shoulders of your disco blazer grow heavy. The cold finds its way in under sheets of rain over the water. A flight of stairs leading into the ocean. Wave after wave washing the coast of Martinaise, with its motorboats and gently swaying reeds.
Punk kids back there still throwing rocks.
The ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble on an inlet beyond the Bay of Revachol. Ghosts rise. The skyscrapers of La Delta. Will you ever go there? No, you are just one of the hundreds of thousands who watch them rise across the bay from Martinaise. Urban coastline, rain dripping off Eternite-covered roofs.
My only
Cinder
problem
blocks
is I
left
read
over
faster
from
than he
half-finished
speaks.
construction. A defunct research and development building, once seized by revolutionaries. An old wooden church stands on stilts above the water. Coal City, end of all lines. Your hair is an oily mess flecked with ash from neighboring coal plants. Smokestacks rise somewhere in the great gates of the industrial harbor are locked. Behind the gates, heaps of supply crates, red and blue metal shipping containers, slick with rain. The greater Revachol industrial harbor is an artifact. La Drusienne, King Dries passenger harbor. Cruise ships flanked by dock arms. Couronne, the lower middle class. A silvery curtain of rain. Capeside apartments. Tower blocks crowd one another. 4.46mm hallways collapse from the mortar heads of a war that was lost long ago. Clothesline, a yard. Rain falls onto the roof of a woodshed. Coal leaks into a puddle, a traffic jam. Rain thrumming, the road ascends. A raised motorway loops. Revachol is the capital of the world. Jamrock is its home. To be in Martinaise, where no one goes, at the runoff, standing in the rain, looking north, where Jamrock Rock City stretches in the rain-swept distance above the rooftops of Jamrock. A reaper, your vision blurs. You wipe your face with your hand. The rain stings your eyes. Coalition aerostatics hang like apparitions under the cloud cover. Way up there, where rain forms.
This rain will not let up anytime soon. You should get a raincoat. There's a freight to the east. They sell them there.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cut. Rows and rows of Heimdall men blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Heimdall and the Mammoth Riders. Man from Heimdall, Return to Heimdall. And the Solipsistic, Man from Heimdall and the Heimdall Man. The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Heimdall novels. A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching. Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular Man from Heimdall in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman, she's laughing at him, belittling him. Between the throne and the Heimdall Man lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Heimdall and the Devil Woman. The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Heimdall. A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise.
I don't know why when my alarm went off, it started a podcast that
An endless
I
variety
fell
of
asleep
source
listening to.
books, lore books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium, 2nd edition. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Katawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path adventure game book titled Tales of Wirral, cap a towering mountain of colorful board games. You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut.
Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel
Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains,
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. I am sorry. I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't. You do? My God. Even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear. Thank you.
What are you? A coward? Think about the marvelous adventures waiting for us on the other side.
The necktie.
Lies. Rip them open, we say. There is something mysterious about the curtains. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you. You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little cage-like trinkets, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
I warned you. You're unleashing forces beyond your understanding.
That were hidden behind the curtain.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped. What if you just break it down? That's right. Take in your surroundings. You need to have a solid ground and a proper posture if you want to succeed. Steady breathing, Solid core. You've got this. With one shoulder forward, you're ready to smash into the door like a battering ram. The room is dimly lit and littered with old barbershop rubbish. But the path, it's made of a solid block of wood, but it has stood there for ages. The hinges are old and coated with a carmine layer of rust. It should be good. You smash into the wood and see a small crack appear on the doorframe. It's going to take one more try to break through to the other side. But you've done it.
You're not thinking of trying again, are you?
Fuck the system.
What is this place? Yes, but no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us.
An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
Sounds good.
A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Why does it feel so familiar?
I'm gonna hurt myself again. Yep.
You manage to hoist it off the ground, but the barbell feels wobbly and dangerous. Your hands slick with sweat. Turns out you're no beast.
Weightlifting was never my favorite either. At the station gym, I mean. I prefer running. It clears your head.
You broke down the back door, the wards, the door. It's all gone now. Dark psychic energy. I suppose it's all over now. I guess there's no escape. Just a door. This place is curse detective. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Just look at the sheer amount of companies that have failed in this house. I hope you're happy now. Happy that you've ruined everything. Now that you've broken the door, the curse is coming to get me as well. Of course you would think that. You're nothing but a policeman. All right. You know what? I'm willing to let you investigate the doomed commercial area. We are set on the path. There's little else to do. But before we go on, tell me, did you encounter the malignant entity? Yes, the malignant entity that lives inside the chimney. It takes the shape of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she knows more about the curse than she lets on ever since I first saw her. No, this chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She has some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. And do return to me after you've talked to it. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse.
Interesting.
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen. Crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of the arduous everyday work of actual police officers. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you see Dick Mullen on the job? Get me Mullen. The stalwart adventures of Richard P. Mullen. Dick Mullen and the murder in the orchard. A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the murder house. The final case of Dick Mullen. An obvious lie. Dick Mullen in the clock tower. The ordeals of Dick Mullen. Dauntless Dick. Dick Mullen's funeral pyre. The murder of Dick Mullen. Oh no, turns out he faked it to solve a case. Yes, there's also the dame who did it. Farewell, my Mullen. Faking death seems to be a common trope in the Mullen series. The morbid tales of Dick Mullen. A dark tide turns. Tragedy calls for Dick Mullen. Another one with fake death. And, of course, Dick Mullen, the murderer. In order to catch a murderer, Dick Mullen must become the murderer. Come on. This is not the way real police solve crimes. The real police are some 20 kilometers away, sitting in an armored motor carriage.
Come on, Chester. Tell the story again.
Again? Man, I tell that one at least once a month. It's not that interesting.
The fuck it is. And these guys haven't heard it. You see, Chester here...
Gosh, why?
A very fucking dangerous case, ain't that right, Chester? They almost got you that time.
Yeah, sure came close. Alright, so I was tailing this guy called Francis the Shoe.
After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen? Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a book. The title reads, Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Eye. A worn paperback from Dick Mullen's classic hard-boiled phase. The premise seems to be that Dick Mullen is framed for the murder of his best friend and has just a few days to prove his innocence. Could it be the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayals? Then this is the book for you.
Fascist
The plaque
magic.
on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. You see a large variety of... Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head suddenly. A particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Irv and Al. High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob Irv. His blonde mane graces the cover. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other. Next to that, Rivasholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free.
She understands she has erred against the customer and immediately corrects.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take...
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another Ozon, Laurentide, Fas a la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands. All just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou, in a bookstore. It's you, radiating outwards from you, the suzerain Revachol, with a radius of 80 kilometers, still the crown jewel of the ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosigns and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seo is the west azimuth. Isolas, connections to other worlds. Words past the Insulindian. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars. Gods. But looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you. Perhaps they are gods. Gods of distance and outer dust. The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. Hudon, it's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forberg. It's almost as bad. It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is. North of Jamrock. The strip of coast. No, Coal City is worse. A charred limb. Rain falls on its slick black streets. And then, no, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have. But it's still something. Streets and sodium lights, the sky, the world. It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
Sir, please, no browsing in that shelf. That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no!
We're still waiting for a replacement.
What is this? Are you mocking us? This isn't for pétanque.
Now. No need to get angry again, René. I'm sure the officer tried his best. It's not like there's a bull kiosk here in Martin.
The best, huh? This isn't even a bull. But fine. I guess you did attempt to right your hooliganism. Consider it forgiven. Ah, yes! King Philip III on his...
Oh, absolutely. At the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant who emptied the treasury so he could sleep on a bed of gold.
Cocaine? Cocainum? Sounds like our kind of king. And just imagine what kind of cocaine a king would have had.
A superpower, feared and respected. A testament to what this country...
Oh, old Philip was a big fan of the purple nose candy the nobility loved so much. A cocaine connoisseur of sorts. His egocentricity is borderline legendary.
You can't even take the responsibility for yourself. How could you fathom the responsibility weighing on the shoulders of a ruler? That's why the Philippian kings use cocaine, for clarity of vision, to aid in their work. Regnum cocainum, Revishal's finest years.
I'm satisfied with this explanation.
Of course, clarity of vision, awareness.
Philip III was even brought into this world with the help of cocaine. The court made him administer the dose to his mother when she was in
Higher realms. Of course, it all makes sense.
It's really not. Please, do spare us the cocaine for...
Yes, indeed. We're not here to...
Right.
Maybe a monster. How do I zoom out? There we go. What do we have there?
The shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% guaranteed.
We can't do shit until we internalize that nonsense that guy was speaking.
Is this about the questions again? Because
She looks up from her.
yes, what we have is there, in the medicine cabinet. Go take a look yourself.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo.
Just ask me if you need anything from Saint Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma. I don't know. Let's see. Nosafed is a nasal spray. Duramine is a really good painkiller. Magnesium is a diet. I don't really know what Hypnogamma is. I guess it makes you feel less shit. It's recommended to use after lots of partying, studying, or exercising. No. Sorry. I'm not.
Nosafed heals +1 health. Duramine heals +3 health. Magnesium heals +1 morale. Hypnogamma heals +3 morale.
They do not have ammonia.
The unpromising race pupil returns.
Measure head.
Right to work! Back again, eh? Here to show the militia support for our cause?
Maybe you should ask them the questions. Like, why we're not allowed to make a living here.
Shame on you!
We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scott.
Honest men and women, with rights, to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests.
We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If Union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were
given a job to do!
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates.
Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guards blocking the way to the access panel. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is.
Like civilized folk, you mean? These native fucks don't understand civilized.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually, or get drunk.
An old call box with a matrix of an off-key melody starts playing.
Kudos! Please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid games. Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I thought you were... But the doorbell is broken, and the bookstore shouldn't even be on the list anymore. So I can't help you.
A single beep indicates that the line has... You ring the doorbell, but no one answers. Just seeing the words Andro Orlando gets your hackles up. Its very existence is a threat to your masculinity. To say nothing.
It's a threat to
of
your
game.
masculinity.
All you hear is static, but no one answers the call. You ring the doorbell, but nothing happens. You wait for a minute or two, but all you get from the call box is silence. No one answers the call. Looks like someone has melted half the plastic off with a lighter. The doorbell doesn't work anymore. You hear static from the intercom speaker. It sounds as if someone has picked...
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric. Have you come to place an order? My God.
The lieutenant exchanges a look with you.
It's you. My God. I didn't think I would hear your voice.
It's a woman, and she knows you. Your heart beats faster. No, something's wrong here. Are you sure she's talking to you?
Michelle, just please.
Sounds like a ghost. Wind blows through your clothes and you feel detached.
Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care. Ever since I came to work here, it's been different. As if my mind's been wiped clean.
Some weird shit going on in this game constantly.
A spot of static overrides her words. When she speaks again, it sounds like she's submerged.
It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally...
She sounds like she's about to cry. The cold is deep under your skin, as if you were talking to someone who's 100 years away, somewhere inside the building. She doesn't answer. Silence. The only thing you can hear now is static and waves. Another seagull passes by.
I don't know what happened either. We should probably stop playing with this thing.
You press the number sign on the keypad that terminates the call. 12 name cards on the call box read. Silence. No one's home at Fortress Accident. Silence. No one answers the doorbell. Nothing happens after you ring the doorbell. They don't. Silence. No one answers your call. This button looks new, but someone...
This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
No. Hold on. The last thing you need in your life is more hysteric emotions. Forget.
We've almost internalized his nonsense.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against an old shack. Because there's a secret door hidden behind the panels of Eternite. That's why they're too orderly. There it is. You see a shabby little door.
What is this then? A tool shed?
Why did I have to walk around all weird to do that?
Be still, my beating heart. It's amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you.
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detective. See that ladder there? It's probably another way.
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here. Man down, a trooper has been left behind the enemy lines. You could swear it's more of an instinct than anything else, but you know it's a cop.
Yes, it's probably yours. It bears the RCM insignia, and you have a habit of being careless with your equipment. You could probably make the jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day.
The wind is aggressive up here. The lieutenant looks at the enormous crane towering in the distance, over the container yard. The look in his eyes is a mix of the engineer-like interest and the wonder of a 6-year-old seeing a horse for the first time. His eyes trace the crane's contour, as if trying to memorize its majestic...
Yes. We were in the middle of something. Your clock.
Now we're cooking with gas. We got a whole $6.14. feel compelled to take a leap. Mostly because we're running out of time.
A tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing. Nope, no. That's still too high. What were you thinking? You're not a gymnast. You're a boxer. And you've climbed way too high up there.
Sure. Just be careful, okay? Looks like you almost strained a muscle there. The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. As to whether... Well, it doesn't seem too dangerous.
So this was more or less a waste of time coming up here.
Kuno, the pig's getting pretty close to me. Come to snuff my Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno. Pig's come to take me in.
She means it. The fear is real.
I'm going away for a long, long time, Kuno.
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
You don't want to fuck with me. I got my hands bloody. I'm not here, pig. You're not seeing this.
You can still see the top of her hat from behind. A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. As you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Garancy and Quebec. It must be his name. Garancy. Garancy Quebec. Sounds representative. The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air. The man ponders his cooking utensils. You see a heavy steel door with a prominent. You immediately feel drawn to the color. Blue is for mystery. The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel door is flush with its frame on every side. The door does not budge.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads? It is quite pretty. I suppose we could look into it. As a side... Garth is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager.
Advanced race theory.
Could finally get into the place. Hey, this guy's new.
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's... Oh, excuse me. Deep...
Let's go talk to the racist prick. Not this one, but the other one.
The unpromising race pupil returns. And... fascinating. The Revacholian degenerate shows signs of racial self-reflection. How did you accomplish this little feat? So it would seem, Throlaful. I find myself at hand, of course. You will not be able to free yourself from the yoke of rule.
Your willpower fires up.
If the Revacholian degenerate is capable of critical thought, he may still prove a race advert.
Jean, baby. Do the heroic thing.
Very well. You may enter once. Our conversation here has concluded.
Well done. Let's go.
God, we're finally in. Took an hour and a half. Almost of real time, practically.
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork laying around like this.
Let's see what's inside. The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders. Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara, and the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Kuron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry. Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense. It appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everart's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. All items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself is crumpled.
Everard Clare, probably. The head of the Debarders Union. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
What is so special about this borscht? Code for drugs? But remember, Leo, all items on the list, the drawer slides. imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall.
Oh, we can level up. I'm just glad to finally be in there. Good lord, that took a minute.
The tarpaulin cloak. As your fingers touch the tarpaulin, it almost feels like the cloak wants to deliver a message of comfort through your fingertips. I will shield you from the elements and give my life for yours. That's what the cloak is. Empty wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone party.
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you. Yes, this scene isn't exactly ripping with joy.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud.
If you must. But please hurry.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and they're sparse. It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man, René, looks like he's about to smile. This photo must...
Why did you take that picture of René? Fine, but let's move. I don't...
This is the night.
Yeah, right, we got $10 now. Killing it.
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on. Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, container, now belongs to...
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you.
Fitting that he did the same stretch I did.
With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat. I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be.
Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff?
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat. I insist.
It's nothing. Yes, that's he's trying to throw you off your game.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager.
Hey, that's 25 real. That's good money. Think of all the stuff you could.
Is there anything you'd like to say to me? Or...
No.
Cool? I wouldn't go that far. I'm sure there are cooler things than delivering a comically oversized novelty check to a cafeteria manager. But, sure, if that's what's cool nowadays.
Problem with a black cat in a dark room.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun.
Omar.
Lost gun.
Where'd you
lost
go, buddy?
gun.
I hear you. Where are you? I cannot see you, sir. There you are. Omar. Come here, buddy. Get out from under the lamp. He's not going to get out from under the lamp.
The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull.
I know everything, Harry. Right now, I know that you're worried. Don't be worried. Everything's going to be all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling.
God, You're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
While Everard is distracted by your odd behavior, the lieutenant's eyes are mapping everything around you. The folder, desk, papers on the wall.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you...
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
Don't be dramatic. I can see your condition isn't terminal.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was,
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions. It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me, but there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors. And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colors, Harry. This really is very simple, and there's nothing shady about it.
Does this jiggling ooze think he's going to use you? He's got another thing coming. Play his game, son, with your eyes peeled. He's going to slip up, and when he does, you're going to come out on top.
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about. A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. Harry, my dear friend. I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martin. Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's... You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. Honestly, I didn't want to bring it up, Harry. I heard you have become Measurehead's race pupil. Of course, Harry. Of course. You're not some kind of a fantastic racist now. And no one's gonna know what you did with race there, Harry. Your race bonanza is safe with me. Word of how racy it got will never leave Martinez.
You can see the map of Revachol in your head. Dozens of red arrows are pointing outwards from Martinez.
Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed... Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you...
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Harry, I was only trying to be tactful. And kids could be playing gun roulette with it as we speak. Teenage gangs could be arming themselves,
I assure you, we are working on locating the missing sidearm.
The lieutenant is concerned about the lost gun and feels that the fact you haven't prioritized looking for it is unfortunate.
Excellent, Mr. Kitsuragi. That's excellent. Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everard. My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you?
I think the odds of that are very low.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could...
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now. Ah, this? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry.
I find that very suspicious. May I have a look?
I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry.
Everard's large hands are covering the folder, but the look on his face says, I know everything.
Oh, Harry. Oh, wow. This is real.
I'm sure it's not that bad. At worst, he has an old RCM folder.
So how about it, Harry? You need assistance, I presume? It's Harry. Harry Dubois.
You feel like a Dubois, but you don't feel like any of these things. You know what your name is. You have a sophisticated name, like that of a count, or a beautiful man.
Fine, Harry. You can even be Harry Raphael Dubois de Costo, or whatever you Mr. Kitsuragi doesn't seem even slightly empathetic to your memory loss, Harry. I, however, wish to help you any way I can. Of course, Harry, of course. Let's not linger on. Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white Union man.
My God, I don't like that guy. That could have gone better, honestly. Okay, I unfortunately am out of time. If I want to, like, get breakfast and coffee and stuff before work. So, thank you for joining me for a couple hours of Disco Elysium. We will continue to play this amongst the many other games we're playing right now. As I said at the beginning of the video, though, if you could throw a subscription over on Twitch while I continue to do things the pre-recorded way, I would appreciate it. Anything you can do to support what we do here is greatly appreciated. Share what we do, talk about what we do, post things, all the above. And I'll see you next time.